A sure way to be an extremely successful real estate investor is to be flexible. As much as we want to plan and analyze and have a clear exit strategy, the market is volatile. And having the ability to be creative when things don't go according to plan. And speaking from personal experience, I just had a project that completely derailed. We bought it last, I think it was May. And by June, we were going to do a refi. We were going to fix up the property. And then the market shift and we couldn't get a loan. Lenders were getting scared. The rates were going from our projected 4%. We ended up closing a loan 6 months later at 9.5%. So our holding costs, I think, tripled. All the numbers got skewed. But you know what? We just pivoted. It wasn't a flip. It was going to be a long-term hold. And that's another thing. And this is what I always say about flips. You get a paycheck, you buy a property, you fix it up, and for the sake of example, let's say you make $50,000. As opposed to if you were to hold the property for 10, 20, 15, 30 years, not only is the property being paid off by somebody else via rental income / passive income for you, but you're also getting tax benefits for the duration of the property. Write-offs, depreciation, capital improvements, things like that made to the property. You have a lot of tax benefits. The property also grows in value because that's just what real estate does. Housing becomes more in demand, not less. You're investing in an asset that puts a roof over a family's head. You're not buying stocks in the market, which isn't a bad way to go. It's just not as safe as real estate. So the project derails, and this is where a lot of investors fail. And I'm sure this is where a lot of your fear is coming from, because what do you do then? You're in the hole, property is losing its value. All of a sudden, it's not making any money. Do you offload it? Do you take the hit? Do you get scared, never invest again? Or do you adjust your strategy? Do you creatively think of ways to keep the property and have it continue to make money? What does that look like? Let's say you got a property, all of a sudden you can't sell for what you're into it, and your option is to lose money. Or you could rent it out. But then you think, well, I could never get for it what I owe on it. So let's say you have either hard money costs, refi it to a 30-year conventional. Those rates always tend to be better. You can pull out 80-20 loan to value. But if your mortgage is higher than it would rent for, what a lot of people would do is either cover the difference, or you can adjust your rental strategy. So let's say a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in my market rents for $2,500. That's pretty conservative. But if you were to have a roommate or rent per room, now you're all of a sudden getting $1,000 a room. So if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, now you're making $3,000 instead of $2,500. That's an extra $500 buffer on your monthly expenses every month. And then if that doesn't work, build an ADU or throw a tiny home in the backyard. Now you have a property producing 2 separate incomes. You could also Airbnb it, figure out a way to furnish it, and then those, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, could produce anywhere between $3,500 to $4,500. Now all of a sudden, you've adjusted your strategy, you've learned a new skill set, and this all comes from knowing your market and knowing what your options are. So you went from getting $2,500 or losing money on a sale, because selling is extremely expensive. Realtor fees, closing costs, and then if you have any prepayment penalties on the financing that you did do, all those costs associated with selling have to be taken into consideration. So now you've gone from $2,500, just a regular rental, to maybe let's say $4,500 as a hospitality business, Airbnb, furnished finders. I just rented my Airbnb to a nurse on a 4-month contract via furnished finders. Now I don't got to worry about that thing for 4 more months. So just be creative, be flexible, don't take a loss, and just work with what you've got. And then the market will always come back. The market is cyclical. It could be down, but it's going to come back up eventually. You just have to figure out a way to weather the storm until that happens. And I don't mean to be super laid back about it, but the truth is you're investing in a real asset. Real estate is real property. It's dirt, it's a home, and it can only depreciate so much before it comes back up, before the feds back off and lower the rates to make housing affordable again. And when the feds drop the rates, businesses can operate better, hire more people, more employees, people going to work, making money, pumping money back into the market. And then the economy is just going to come back. So weather this storm and try your best not to take a loss, and you'll be extremely, extremely successful. I wish you all the best of luck. There are many resources down in the comments section. If you have any specific questions, write them. I'd love to answer it. Thanks for watching.